Shalom. I want to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahushai Bashem, Rachakwadash. Double to the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well, and as always, peace and salutations to the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And I'm replying to this segment of Vocab the Agagites latest live stream, the smoke room. We have people, you know, they either called in or they cammed up to ask them certain questions regarding the discussion on who the Israelites are and what they look like, their phenotype, their color, and this and that. And with this guy and all the books that he read, he's gonna debate you to the death, to cast doubt and make sure that you understand that you can never be an Israelite. He'll never use the same energy to debunk Elamites and Moabites and different other, Ethiopians when they claim that they're the people. All right. But you so-called Negroes and Hispanics and natives, you can never be that. Which it's only fulfillment of scripture. Because like it says in Hosea 1 and 10, in a place where it was said it to us, we're not the people, there should be said you are the sons of the living power. All right, and this massive Jake's, waking up. That's what the case of this Jake right here on the left side of the screen. He camped up to discuss with vocab, and he brought up Genesis the 15th chapter, and it shows you that even though there's a lot of Jake waking up to who they are, they still don't necessarily have the full understanding. Now we know the scriptures say in Proverbs, to trust in the Lord, with all thy heart and lean not to thine own understanding. And Jake is misguided. They following a lot of these false prophets and teachers out there. They get to reading certain information and they become misled. And the Lord haven't, directed them to the true leaders and teachers and prophets. Right. So Jake, while they're waking up to the fact that they're Israelites, they're receiving, the flesh upon their bones, they're receiving the sinews, but they still don't have the complete understanding, meaning they don't have the breath, which is the wisdom. All right. And you can see Jake is he's definitely coming up out of the world. He has his beard, but it's trimmed up. He got the chin strap thing going. And we know that according to the law, you're not supposed to round the corners of your head or your beard. You're supposed to just let it all grow. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna play just a little small part of this so you can listen. Jake is apparently still on that 400-year prophecy crap. All right, and Jake need to wake up and realize that particular scripture, though it was prophetic, but it has nothing to do with the eschatology of the scriptures. It wasn't talking about the end. This was talking about what was going to happen generations after Abraham. And y'all know where I'm getting at. It's the same 400-year prophecy where Jake thinks that it's alluding to Judah being brought over here in the 1600s, primarily 1619, and then they'll equate that with what the angel told Abraham, that his seed will be afflicted in a land, a strange land, and that they would serve him 400 years, and then after they would come out with great substance. Now let's I'm gonna play the video, and then I'm gonna just do my little slight response.
Just 1 second real quick. I'm not sure if I have background noise.
You're fine. Go ahead. No, you're good. They're not bad. I'll let you know if they're bad, okay? You're good.
All right, so check this, man. I'm just gonna be not sugarcoating anything at all. Not in the past or in the ancient past or anything of that nature has this been fulfilled. I believe, not believe because people use belief too much. There's a lot of things that I believe, and there's a few things that I feel I know. And I know for a fact that Genesis 15 and the 400-year prophecy was indeed speaking of those that were taken here to America have been here since 1619. There's also a historical document, HR 1242, which specifically signifies African Americans have been here 400 years.
Yeah, and when that whole breakdown, and it was spread like wildfire throughout Israel. That was back when allegedly 2019 was supposed to be the year that we were supposed to return back to the land. All right, and you had Ghana and you had them different parts of West Africa that were allowing for Jake to return back over to that portion of land, where we were taken from. But that has nothing to do with prophecy because we know that the Lord Himself is going to be the one that's going to actually deliver the nation of Israel out of Babylon and out of the different parts of the world where we were scattered. And then we were going to be brought back to the land. We were not going to be going by way of airplanes. We were not going to be going by way of, ferry boats and cruise ships. That's not how it was going to go. We're going to go up into the chariot, the ship, the cloud. That's how the Lord's going to bring us up out of here. Okay. But 2019 came and went. We're in 2022 now. So, so much for your 400-year prophecy. And Jake is super late. Jake is super late. And back then, we had to deal with Jake and we had to basically debunk that because we know that that's not sound doctrine. All right. But I'll play it a little more and then, we'll go into the scriptures.
And according to the verbiage of this prophecy,
And see, and this is why Vocab is quiet. He's allowing him to speak because Vocab is familiar with that doctrine. He already knows it. So he's gonna let Jake, continue to, you know, acquire more rope to hang himself with. Because he already familiar with this breakdown. All right. That's why you're not supposed to, don't give this devil ammunition. He will use it. You got to be very uh sound in the doctrine. That's why the scriptures say, study to show thyself approved unto the most high, man. You got to be prudent. You got to rightly divide the word of truth. Okay. Because this serpent right here, he knows how to go through, loopholes and, you know, go through certain angles and create gray areas. He knows how to maneuver with the scriptures. So you got to be very careful with him.
we can lay to rest when and where it happened. My first point of contention is that it says that there's a singular land. So in verse 13, it says, and he said unto Abram, this is speaking of God, he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land. So there's one singular land spoken on. And I'm not sure how you're going to answer this, but the main Christian answer, if I may say, is to combine Canaan and Egypt, two nations, two lands, two sons, and to combine them both and to equate to 430 years spent in those two lands. However, we do not see a fulfillment of 400 years servitude and bondage in one singular land. So I just give you the floor with that, and I believe.
See, and Jake is just leaning upon his own understanding. All right, it's clearly obvious according to the scripture, not what we say, that we already fulfilled that. We were strangers, and let me go to Genesis 15. We're gonna deal with that, and then we're gonna go to Exodus, where it literally tells us that we were sojourning in Egypt for 430 years. All right, that's the particular land where we dwelt. So this is Genesis 15, and I'm gonna start at verse I'll start at verse 11. It says, "And when the fowls came upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance." So this was what was prophesied of what was to come, all right, many years after Abram, all right, which we know as Abraham, right? Now, when was this fulfilled? Was this fulfilled when we came over here to America? Because if you actually know the history, it didn't just start in 1619, where slaves were brought over to this side of the world. You actually had the Spanish expedition that actually took Jake's slaves and brought them to South Carolina settlements in 1526. So that's nearly 100 years earlier than 1619. So that's not even fully accurate. That's not even accurate at all, actually. But Jacob tried to use that to try to make it the the fulfillment. But Jacob's reaching, man. Obviously, this is talking about when we ended up in ancient Egypt, the land of Mizraim or Martezarium. All right, we went into Egypt because of a famine. All right, Joseph was already there because his brothers sold him. All right, to the was it the Ishmaelites, and the Ishmaelites brought him over to Egypt. All right, and he rose up the ranks. When the famine hit, and uh he was able to interpret the dream that Pharaoh had, and he warned him that he was going to have 7 years of plenteousness, and he was going to have 7 years of dearth, famine. And he basically gave them counsel on what to do, and when they followed through with the counsel, they became enriched, they became blessed. So Joseph rose up in the ranks in Egypt, and then the brothers came down into Egypt. And we know that story. We just read through the book of Genesis, man. So that's how we ended up in Egypt. And then later down the line, Moses was born, and Pharaoh will start putting young Israelite children to death. And we know Moses was put in a uh, uh, little basket, and put down into the river, where Pharaoh's was it his daughter, if I'm not mistaken, that found Moses, and they ended up taking him in and adopting him, right? So let's go over to Exodus 12, when we finally came out of Egypt. This is Exodus 12, verse 40. It says, "Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years." This was in Egypt. "And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the self same day, it came to pass that all the host of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt." All right, and this is when we kept the night of the Passover, right? And when you jump down, let me see. Actually, let me go up. Exodus 12 and 33. Because like I said, going back to Genesis 15, it said that they will come out with great substance. This is the fulfillment of that. Exodus 12 and 33. And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people that they might send them out of the land in haste, for they said, we be all dead men. Because after they was getting jacked the hell up with them plagues, they want to hurry up and rush the Israelites up out of there. Like, hey, y'all go, man. We all gonna die. It says, and the people took their dough before it was leavened through netting troughs, being bound upon their clothes, upon their shoulders. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses. And they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. All right. They took their spoils, man. They was like, hey, go on and take it, man. This gold, this silver, whatever y'all want, take it. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians. That's why they came out with great substance. They came out with jewelry, all right, with substance. And that's why later on, when they was in the wilderness, when they rose up to play, they took they took what? They took the gold that they spoiled from the Egyptians, and they managed to craft a damn golden calf with the gold and started to worship it. They started to act like the heathen. So obviously, this was already fulfilled, and this cannot be used to prove that there's so much other scriptures that my man can actually go into to have that discussion on how we fit the bill as being the Israelites. All right, this is definitely not it, man. That Genesis 15, that's and it's old. It's pretty easy to debunk. That's why we never use that. That's not the breakdown. And I'm sure that never came out of One West. So maybe this dude learning from guys that's not of One West, because One West doesn't teach that. All right. So yeah, man. Jake gotta listen. They gotta study, but ultimately they gotta be led to the right men. That's gonna teach them the truth. All right. We don't know the day or the hour as it is written when the salvation is gonna come. We can speculate, we can hope. The scriptures say to hasten the day of the coming of the day of the Lord, but we don't know the day or the hour. Even Yahweh Shai doesn't know. He said even the angels don't know. Only the Father knows. All right. So at this point, it's only speculation. You're giving your own conjecture on when you believe the Lord is going to return. But you can't use the scriptures. We can only go by the signs, the prophecies. Scriptures say, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And yeah, we're seeing the signs. So we know that that day is definitely getting closer. We're seeing, war build up in the Middle East. You know, uh, nation rising against nation, kingdom against kingdom. We're seeing earthquakes in diverse places. This is all accurate. Pestilences everywhere, people dying. The love of many is waxing cold. Bloodshed, murder. It's all happening. But that 400 year crap, that's crap, man. That's not sound doctrine. So, I just wanted to do a little slight response to this. You know, I'm not going to even play vocab's response. You know, he, we know how this devil operates, man. But he's knowledgeable in scriptures enough to know that that doctrine right there does not hold up. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna end off with that. Call Lawyer Bashmi Shai. Shalom.